Hi all, this is Dr. J and Professor Spike, streaming live from Long Island, New York.
The longest of Long Islands.
Yeah, it seems to be getting shorter to me as I make my trips back and forth to the
Uh,
Hamptons.
you're getting more and more used to the ride.
I'm more used to the Long Island.
It's funny because even when you go the short distance, it's a very very long ride from the North Shore all the way down to the South Shore.
Yes, cross
So it's
towns.
a fat island also, not just a Long Island.
Yeah.
It's a Long Island and a fat island.
So you want to greet a few people?
Yeah, let me see who's around. Let's see. What do we got? It says can't hear someone. There's a red bug in Safari. I'm getting these really weird stuff. You can hear me fine, right?
I hear you fine.
Okay, good. Well, then I'm not gonna
Lynn,
fix it.
Lynn is here.
The works I ain't fixing it.
We have to do Red Hill.
Oh, we have to do Red Hill, definitely, definitely. And it looks like we have Mustafa's here and Magnificent Answer, Sean John and Sherry's here. So because Sherry's here, we have to do Red Hill. Yes, so that there we go.
Sean is worried about, as I know,
Because I know which one's that.
INO, the Inovio.
Oh, Inovio. Okay, yeah. David's
And
here. We got a
CRMD.
good little crowd for an early Wednesday.
David is here. David had a request last time.
David, I don't remember what. Well, he's got some requests now.
Yeah.
ADM DCRX. Well, AMD. I was actually going to tell
Somebody
you
gave
about that.
Dr. J a Vusmaxter.
Hmm?
Vusmaxter, and that's German or Yiddish.
Oh,
I got a Shalom and a Vusmaxter.
wow. Some inside baseball there with that.
And Spike gets a yo. Yo,
Well,
Spike.
that's it. I get a yo, which is
You get
fine.
a
I like
yo,
it.
I
I
get
like
a
a yo.
Vusmaxter.
Just don't call me late for dinner. You could say yo, but don't call me late for dinner.
Yo, I don't care what they call me. Who cares? What's in the name?
What's in it? Right. What's a lot actually.
Nah, according to Shakespeare, not too much.
Right. Right. What's he know? What did he know?
So Amazon is going into space.
You mean literally or figuratively?
Both. They're going to literally compete against Elon Musk and Sir Richard Branson.
I guess they have all that capitalization. They might as well spend it on something.
And they're looking for
They're about 2,800.
looking to expand their cloud business into outer space.
They'll put a big right. They'll put a big Wi-Fi station now. So
And they pulled their Crucible game off the market for a while. Now it's in beta. They're promoting it big time, but it was a flop.
Magnificent Answer says that Elon Musk called him a copycat. Well,
Jeff Bezos.
Didn't Google teach us being second in the door is not necessarily a bad thing?
Jeff Bezos has been called worse.
Exactly, by our own president.
Yeah,
and his ex-wife.
Yeah, his wife. I'm sure his wife had a few choice names for him.
Choice words. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Maybe they'll put a fulfillment center on the moon for when people.
How many guy would like athx for brother Timmy?
athx.
For brother Timmy.
I picked up a little bit of that just because everybody was talking about it, and I think I'm up like 30%. But I only put a couple $100 in, but I'm not crying. I'm actually very happy.
Yeah, 100 with a few more zeros at the end, I'm sure.
That would have been you. No, it was like I was scrounging the last of my pennies.
Yeah, don't give me that.
Right. You think I'm lying?
I know you're lying.
I know. Well, no, the stuff I put my thousands in.
First of all,
that goes down to
anybody who says how much they bought of anything, I
Excuse me?
automatically figure they're lying one way or the other.
Well, yeah, no, I did have that old saying that people are poorer than they think, but richer than they say.
I don't believe anybody that says how much shares they have, how much money they have. First of all, they shouldn't be announcing that in public. And second of all, if they do, they're not telling the truth.
You're saying it's not polite talk. Well,
I don't say how many shares I bought or sold. Or
no, you don't.
I talk percentage. That's all. Like I raised 10% cash last week, and now I'm up to 15% cash.
Cash is king.
And that's a huge percentage for Dr. J.
Yeah, for you, you're always extended into this stuff. But I'm not surprised is because this has been a fairly disappointing couple of months in terms of, granted, yeah. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, I know that we've been holed up in our houses, but I'm saying in terms of looking for these great opportunities and taking advantage of the situation we're in, there were these moments.
Truthfully, I just had too much on the table and wanted to take some off.
Well, one would have thought with nothing else happening in the world that you'd expand your horizons. Certainly, that's what I've done. It's like, what am I going to do anyway?
Dr. Feldman is on, waiting for athx. Athx is up second on the agenda.
Yeah.
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 I will give my words.
I know we've had requests for a certain order, but we could always, like I said, we could
always.
Well,
I have charted SPX first, athx second. Mm-hmm. CVM third, and then I'll do probably Lynn's Red Hill or
we have to do that.
Geron. Also Geron. Hold on, I gotta close the door.
Okay. All right. So in the meantime, I'll just talk a little bit about stuff. Like I have anything to say. I keep on saying that I am the Ed McMahon to Dr. J's Johnny Carson, and so. When he doesn't see anything.
Dr. Feldman is a big-time athx trader, as well as having a core position similar to what I do. But I think he's a little better and more astute at it than I am, actually, from the posts he's given me.
Yes, indeed.
I haven't always been that clever with what I do with my extra position. So right now, I have no extra position in athx. I sold off everything but my core.
Everything but your core. Well, yeah. I mean, again, I was hoping for an explanation of why, it took that big tank after the BARDA news and then was climbing back. I guess they must have a decent product.
athx?
Yes.
athx is awaiting the confirmation from BARDA that they will be funded.
Oh, because there was news that that because of the focus on the COVID, that extra BARDA money wasn't really going to be doled out that much.
Well, it's assumed, but I don't think there was an announcement.
Okay. Well, that assumption brought the thing down from like 2.5 to 1.5. So yeah. It's a pretty dangerous.
Well, that was just a short attack, pure and simple.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well, I'm glad I didn't sell all of it then.
All right, so Mark, I think what do? I think Mark goes long on puts, naked puts.
Is that his strategy?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you could write call options. You can write. But the thing with naked puts, sometimes it's put to you, and you either got to take the stock or the loss.
Right. Well, there are some very dangerous options plays, but
I think the implication that Joe is making is that you're my sidekick.
No, I explicitly said that.
Oh, you said it.
Because nobody ever says to me, "You are right, sir." They always say, I listened to what you said, and I'm doing the exact opposite. Thank you. I made money as a result. That's
All
what people
right.
say to me.
I don't know which Russ this is, whether it's Russ Aragon or the. I got a few Russes.
Do you?
I'm not sure which Russ.
Man, yeah, that's right. So
Mark
they'll
doesn't
get you
call.
rich.
He only writes the naked puts. Let's get into it, okay?
Yeah.
Because
We
I
got
don't have all
some-
night. So let's share screen. And we'll do the requests as well.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, Mark actually said he was skeptical of barter funding, and you know he's been with it more than anybody else.
Yeah.
So you know if anybody's going to have the inside track on that.
All right, so I happen to have a lot of athx in my core position, but I won't say how much. Because
All right.
like I said, people lie and I don't lie, and I don't want
All right.
I don't want people to necessarily
We
know.
have to divide by 10. When you say something, we have to multiply by 10. So that's what you're telling us.
Yeah, let me start with the SPX.
Okay.
We're in a downward channel, which we broke out of today. Very bullish. I see resistance, strong resistance right up here at 31.55, and strong support. Well, let's just say big trouble if we go through the low of 615, 29.65. We don't want to go low below 29.65 on the S&P because outside of the 100 and the 50, there's nothing to catch us all the way down to 27.50.
Right, all the way back down to.
So if it goes below that key level, I think it could be, get the net, could be a free falling object. That would be the time I would consider TVIX.
Right. And that's also when you would think that 15% cash is too little.
But right now I'm more interested in actually buying more spiders with a break of the June 19th high of 31.55. So I would be probably buying, maybe even calls on the spiders, or maybe for a quick trade, the SPXL. I don't like to be in that for long because the mathematics kill you on those triple plays 3 times, All right, so right now I'm short-term bullish. But
well, let me ask you a question on this. Would you, if you had a choice between doing the Qs and doing the S&P, which one are you happier about?
But I don't want to answer that because then I have to go and chart the Qs. But let me just say that rather than buy the Qs, I keep adding to my Amazon. I added on Monday.
That's sort of equivalent.
Yeah, it's almost like buying the Qs.
That's true.
So I keep adding to my Amazon position, which is making me lots of money, making me sort of happy.
All my regrets for never listening to you over the last 6 months.
Yeah, no, that's okay. If it makes you feel any better, nobody ever listens to me. So,
well,
and everybody wishes they had. So you're just one of many.
Okay, all right. So then I'm in good company.
You're in good company.
All right.
Nor should they listen to me. I don't really want them to listen to me. I just want them to listen to the show.
Right. Listen.
Don't
listen to what we're saying. Just listen to our voices.
What's our opinions? What are they?
Our opinions? Well, I know what your opinion is.
No, they're strictly our own. They're strictly
our opinion. That I thought you were going to say your opinion was there's never a wrong time to buy Amazon, even when it is
they do not constitute investment advice, right?
It does not. This is for entertainment purposes only.
Well, okay.
Well, to the extent that you can find this fun. But look, this is a lot.
Well,
This is
it's
a lot
only
better than
entertaining
CNBC.
when you tell a joke. When you tell a joke at the end, then it's entertaining.
Okay.
All right. We're in a consolidation phase. We're consolidating off the highs. That is athx.
Right.
And if you draw a tight triangle, we're below it. But if you take a more realistic triangle, we bounced off the low. We bounced off just where we should have. So I'm being more optimistic. I'm looking at this triangle, the larger one, and largely it's a subjective kind of thing. But clearly, this is a nice trend line right in here. Support, key support level at 265, which I talked about before. Remember, I said if it goes below 265, look out below. Look what happened, $1.50 that day.
Right.
So sometimes Dr. J gives, correct advice, which is not investment advice, however. It's just opinion, which is strictly my own. So
right, we're just showing what we see in terms of the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, you should always double check before you to do anything with you do your own due diligence, and then double check with your wife or your dog. The dog, you give two barks.
Don't trust your cats.
I always have a system: 2 barks and it's a yes, 1 bark and it's a no. 2 if I see, 1 if I land, or the other way around.
Which is why you have a big position in Purina.
What's the story with Paul Revere? 2 if I see, 1 if I land.
1 if I land, 2 if I see.
Okay. So yeah. So break below midpoint of this big green candle, which we're at today, and I won't be happy. But right now, I'm happy with this candle that we turned in today. It's actually a nice looking candle with a long bottom wick. It has a nice little red pimple at the top. It's a nice looking candle, seriously. And I'm hoping for some continuation into the upside. But keep in mind that 265 number is still an ominous looking number to me.
Right. Now, it's not clear when the stroke results are going to be coming, but when they do.
It broke 265 today, by the way, 262. Right. But it didn't make a clear break of it. So anything above 262, 265 looks all right. You can go down a little bit more, bounce around. I think ultimately, and you can see the way the triangle comes to a conclusion by August something, or the beginning of August. So I would say by the beginning of August, things will get a lot clearer here. Maybe we get news regarding the COVID-19 trial.
What about the stroke trials?
The stroke trial, not till the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
We might get some interim news on the COVID-19 trial, interim data. I don't know.
Yeah, but again, we've been telling everybody, at least our opinion is that this really isn't much of a COVID play. That's just a sideshow. That's really about the stroke. Yeah,
however, the winner of the COVID race may not make much money on COVID, but will certainly get a lot of publicity, and I think the stock will move.
Just like Gilead.
Yeah, the stock will move.
That wasn't really.
The stock will go up to new yearly highs. It'll go up above 4 on really good results on the COVID trial. So that's coming. My triangle says we're going to get some news by the end of July, basically.
Okay.
All right, let's look at.
Sherry says that there's something called Yaliva for COVID-19 that might be promising from a company called from RDHL from Red Hill.
Okay.
So when we talk about Red Hill, we could just roll back to that.
Yeah.
In terms of these COVID plays.
Okay. CVM is kind of bounced around.
CVM. This
They
is
they got a tweet from IR today saying
waiting.
that essentially that the data is still under lock. The independent statisticians are still analyzing it. And you and I said before the show we could have analyzed it in 15 minutes on an Excel spreadsheet.
Four out of 5 dentists agree.
Yeah. So I don't know what the hell they're doing, but why they need so much time, I don't know.
Yeah. Tin Wang, I'm looking to go to Vegas too. There's a couple of things, including trying to make some money out of these things that are in the way in between this and that COVID thing.
I'm almost disinterested in the daily movements here, but
no, I know you were saying all along that they're going to go in a range, but if you do point out that this range is somewhat narrowing based on
I mean, there's room to trade this for day traders and for swing traders, but personally, I'm not that interested in doing that. Today, I mean, you could have gotten in right around here, midpoint of the green candle, but you wouldn't have done. You would have been about even on the day if you did that.
Yes, exactly.
I don't see much in terms of big volume. There's not big volume. I would stay away until data. I'm in it for the data. Right. I'm not trading this.
But you wouldn't.
To me, the chart can't really predict data at this point, so it's kind of useless to me. I'm not encouraged by an up day. I'm not discouraged by a down day. So that's que sera. What it is, and
right. Well,
the daily movements are meaningless to me until the data.
Right, because this one is not a COVID play by any means.
CVM,
right.
Don't say that because they have leaps, and should the data be bad, suddenly people will be looking towards leaps as being an actual COVID play.
You mean something that would keep this from going down to $1 if data turned out?
Or zero.
Yeah, but
we'll find out if the data is really not good. We'll find out the true value of leaps.
Well, something happened to dilute
technology.
Thing about warrants, that a bunch of warrants were bought at a relatively cheap price.
Oh, the warrants?
Yeah.
The 25th of June, they expired, right?
Right. They wanted to get before they expired. And so that gave money to the company, which they said they were using to make sure they amped up production on this. I don't
know. Did they get money? No, nobody exercised. Why would anybody exercise those warrants? It didn't make sense to me. I don't know.
Well, were they dilutive at all? Were they cheap?
Well, the strike price was above the trading price of the stock.
They were. No, weren't they 13 change?
I don't know. I don't follow that they raised money with the warrants. Did they? I don't think so.
Not very much.
I don't think they raised anything.
Whatever they did was going to go into capital to
unless I'm missing something, which could be. I might be missing something.
Maybe on Friday, I'll before Friday, I'll send you the article.
Who said they raised money with the warrants?
It's something I read. I've been so addicted that I've been reading everything. They exchanged old warrants.
Somebody here said they made money.
Yeah. So Jake said they raised $10 million, and Magnificent Answer said they exchanged old warrants for new series. So they did get, and all that money, like I said, was going to buy a building that would help them increase production. So it was all positive stuff. But
I had no idea that they actually. To me, I didn't understand what the concept, how they could have raised money with those warrants. But I said I might be missing something.
Right. Well, not that 10 million is a whole lot anyway. I mean,
we have a pessimistic remark from one of the largest shareholders of athx.
Oh yeah,
So maybe
that's
the
that was
bottom
not the
money,
bottom money.
maybe it's never coming.
Yeah, well,
No, I know that, but about the bottom. The warrants, I don't understand. How they raise money on it, I don't understand it.
maybe one of our take
CYDY.
that. I don't know the mechanism behind it.
Let's do CYDY and Red Hill.
Yes, let's look at that one, and then maybe a little Red Hill before we move to some of the other
Well,
stalwarts.
it doesn't matter it doesn't matter.
We'll fix
Doesn't
it.
matter the order.
We'll fix it. All right. So this is still. So what are we moving to now?
Red Hill.
Oh, Red Hill. Okay.
Red Hill.
Okay.
Red Hill had a nice recovery candle today, and it's starting. It looks like it's starting a little uptrend, but in my opinion, I've had bad luck with that stock. I've been in it a few times, and whatever I was looking for never panned out. So I don't know. Personally, I'm a little bit soured by the company. While the chart looks okay short term, I just don't. I'm not overly exuberant about this one from past experience, and it's certainly influencing my chart. This is a nice trend line. It goes all the way back to this candle here.
Right.
So you have a nice little trend line, and it's following it. So maybe we get a move up to. We might get a move up to, let's say, this high, 736. But I just don't trust this company. So while they're saying good things, it's
Yeah, they have what on it was an. Is this this is not the antibody. This was the immunotherapy.
yeah, and it's antiviral and anti-inflammatory.
Okay, so
Both,
I
which
mean,
is ideal.
from the
Theoretically, they got the ideal combination to treat acutely ill people with COVID-19. If it's going to reduce viral load and reduce inflammation in the lungs, that would be the drug. It sounds better than Gilead drug. But this is a long way from.
But AEMD has a place.
Yes, AEMD has a play. There's a lot of plays for.
Sherry was saying that she felt a little burned also from the past, but she thinks it might be a reasonable COVID play. That's why she did it. Which I mean,
Red Hill.
There are a lot of them now.
A lot of companies that I was burned with are doing okay because it is COVID-19. So I can't discount it just because I've been burned in it. I mean, I went into Geron, and I keep adding to Geron now, based on the chart, based on potential. So even though I was really burned on that one, I still went back in. So I'm just something about this one that
Gotcha.
I have some doubts. Although the chart is kind of nice. Just that one trend line is kind of nice, and then we have a parallel trend line over here on the highs.
Sounds like it would have been nice to catch it closer up there, but
well, sort of.
This is the deal. As far as the COVID goes, they're learning from the cancer people that these composite approaches are the most effective. So now it's just finding the right pair or the right triple if you get down to it. Something to clear the viral load, something to reduce the inflammation, and then something to to address the other symptoms.
Yeah, I mean,
because we see that they're actually going to do a great job in keeping people alive. They've learned a lot since March. About how to keep people alive.
A little bit better. I mean, we're still losing 5%. That's a lot.
I think we went lower than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at the raw numbers, but remember the denominator might still be wrong.
The good news is on this one, since since the low of, let's see if I can find the date. Since the low of whatever that date is, 534. Since we put in that low,
Uh-huh.
I don't know, for some reason I don't see the date. But at that point, we've been in a nice channel and trading above the channel for a while.
Uh-huh.
So it looks like it's at the bottom part of the channel. If you're going to play it, it looks like this is the time to play it.
For long term or for just another short term on that cycle?
Well, if I were playing it, I'd be looking for just to move back to the upper end of the channel.
Right. Just that little parabola thing you got going, or that little
Take one more leg up, and I probably use a tight stop right in for a swing trade. I would use a tight stop.
Right, going around nowish, and then
I would use right in here somewhere for a stop.
Yeah.
645.
640 for the stop.
Yeah.
And hope that this is a relative that'll hit that
And
line.
you might be able to get a pop up to, let's say, 762, something like that.
Oh, all right. Well,
it's not a bad.
There you go, Lynn.
Not a bad swing trade. Whether you believe in it for long term or not, it's not a bad swing trade.
Right.
CYDY?
Yes, please.
Okay, so CYDY had a nice pop to like 15 bucks? Popped all the way to, no, 10 bucks. And came back down that day to close at 568 with a low of 465. What a range. What a range.
Yeah, wow.
This is, this is $1 billion market cap, or a little bit more.
Uh-huh.
And today this is a nice accumulation candle, but not enough volume to make me drool. So I'm thinking that if I wanted to play this, I would look to get in right about this, or close to the low, right about here, at least.
Yeah,
and maybe even the bottom of this candle. So I think there's room to go to the downside before it becomes a rocket ship. It needs real news to propel it to $10 levels.
Well, what do these guys do?
They're into like 3 different markets: COVID-19 in Mexico, COVID-19 here, HIV here. They're in a lot of different things. They have a decent pipeline, but they have I don't know how close they are to PDUF, whatever it's called, Fed decision day.
Right. Yeah. Well, something happened.
Whatever it is, whatever those initials are. So I'm thinking you could probably wait it out and try to pick it up at this low. What was the low of this candle?
350.
465.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe even lower, but if 465 looks like pretty good opportunity to get in. It could even drop all the way back down to fill this little gap right in here. Wouldn't shock me if it went down to 367, something like that. So I wouldn't be in a hurry to buy this for the long term unless you just want to swing trade it or day trade it. My opinion.
Well, I mean, it didn't really establish any kind of channel at this point. because it's not doing any kind of wavering.
Give me another symbol. AXDX?
Oh no, AEMD you should do.
What about AXDX?
Yeah, a lot of people ask for that one also. So do that one. But we shouldn't ignore AEMD either, since we've been talking about it for the last week.
Yeah, the CEO is a brilliant man. It was a pleasure to have him on.
It was a really good show.
Yeah, thanks. I got nothing but really good feedback on the interview, so I'm happy.
Well, the guy seemed like the real deal. At least,
No, he's authentic. What I like about him is he's genuine man. Down to earth guy, and very brilliant. What's there not to like?
Right.
I would get in at the midpoint of this green candle. Automatically, I like the midpoint.
Okay, so this is AXDX.
Yeah. Dr.
Yeah,
J,
so,
like
I said, I took a little ride with.
you know how many times it's worked for me not to rush to get in, but to wait for it to come to me.
Right.
16, 18, something like that. I mean, it looks very attractive. It's in a breakaway pattern, but I would still look to get a little downward trend before getting in.
Yeah.
Let's look at the real breakout point up here.
That was last week, yeah.
No, going all the way back.
Oh.
1888. Above that,
Yeah.
missile. It could be a missile. Could be a missile. So if you think that's going to happen, then don't be greedy. Just get in now. But if I were playing this, I'm not sure that I will. But if I am playing it, I'm going to be looking to get in lower.
Try to get in a bargain price, maybe to.
I always look for a bargain.
Yeah, well,
make
money.
Sometimes I miss out, but most of the time I don't miss out. I look for the bargain. The other way to play it is don't touch it until it breaks 1818. If it breaks 1884, go in.
Right. Because
ride missile.
To the moon, like you say.
To the moon. To the moon. Next one.
Next saying about tandem.
Next one.
Let's do since we were talking about it, let's do AEMD.
AEMD.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it did today.
These were one of those ones that was sort of these were just languishing. Like I said, some of these inner plays were just not really moving.
Well, we're waiting on news. You got to get the first patient in the trial.
Right, but they didn't really need that because this was just a device, so they were just looking for proof.
The next catalyst will be when the first person is given the treatment and cured, and he goes home.
Gotcha.
That'll be
that already happened. I guess I'm.
Oh, that'll be another rocket ship. Are you kidding?
Well, like you said, it's a promising way of approaching this, and if we're talking about
all you need is the first guy to get treated, and then the next day he's packing his clothes and going home.
Well, like you said, I think one of the things in your interview that you pointed to was that if we talk about these composite therapies, getting rid of the viral load is very important, but it's not the only thing. So this may be something that you add something to this. We don't know what yet.
I tried to suggest stem cell therapy for immunomodulator like athx or mesoblast, and he said he'd never heard of those.
Right. He didn't want to step to that. No, I'm sure he heard of it. He just didn't want to step to it. He's looking to get stuff out of the blood, not put stuff back in.
It's like Trump never saw the memo.
Yeah, right. Well, there's no reason for him to talk about what to put back in after he's pulled stuff out of the blood.
Yeah.
But even like you take an anti-inflammatory now that the viral load's there and the inflammation goes down, maybe between those two you have a winner at least for treatment.
This is another one. I'm almost going to say yawn to it. I don't really care about the daily movements too much, but I would like it to hold support right in here. So let me draw that line.
Well, because do you see this as just filling the gap at this point?
I seeded. No, I hope not.
Good.
It's
I hope not
it's
too.
quite a gap.
Yeah. So what is that line you're on? That's the 50?
I'll show you the high back here in whatever that I don't see the dates. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
But before it launched, it had two other launch attempts here and
Right.
here, where it popped like to $1.75 or more, and then it took off. So I want to see it hold. Let's see what this high is. $1.85. Let it hold that,
Uh-huh.
and I'm happy. It's very close to hitting it. But if it doesn't hold that, at least if it holds 100-day, I'm still 50-day, whatever this is. I
That's
can't
great.
tell. Whatever color this is, red.
Look,
100.
purple.
The 100.
That's the 100. Okay.
Yeah, let it hold 100.
All right.
So
I mean,
AMD, I think it's a missile ready to launch as soon as you get one or two or three positive feedback. At least something like the trial began, some kind of news.
right.
Okay.
I think we should do. I think we should do BCRX now.
Okay. Is that your request?
Yes, that's my request. Some other people asked for it. Like I said, I don't have my own mind.
Yeah, you have your own mind. It's just that sometimes you're out of it.
Well,
well, we're trying to get out of this negative Zoom channel. We have a Zoom channel in reverse setting up here.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get out of it. I think we're successfully out of it now, right?
Pretty much. Yes.
Pretty much.
If you notice that we didn't go below that line where the middle of that green candle is.
Yeah, well, it looks like we've come out of that negative channel.
Right.
And
So
we made a nice high up here. This was a nice high. I said we'd come back to the middle of this green candle.
Right.
And what did we do? We came back to the middle of the green candle.
Well, as long as we don't go below it, maybe we could have hope.
At this point, if I wanted to buy this one, I'd probably just buy it because it tested this support level twice. Who's to say it's going to test it a third time?
I understand. I tend to agree.
So Dr. J gave everybody the right entry point, 450. Made 450 the other day, didn't it?
Oh yeah, 450's been the thing. It's been wavering around since that.
Well, close to it, 456. So I gave you the right entry point, and let's not be pigs. At this point, if you want in, just buy it. Because like I said, I don't know that it's going to test that the third time. And if it does, if it breaks it, then I don't want to own it anyway. So I'd probably buy it now and for a swing trade,
right.
Put my stop in at about 430.
Okay. Well, how long?
Because
if
it breaks it, why not? It probably fills the gap at 430. I would put the stop in. I don't know. I put a tighter stop in because I think at 430 it might be a buy again.
Okay.
In other words, if it breaks this midpoint of this green candle, probably going to fill this gap at 430. That's my thinking. Whether it goes much lower than that, I don't know. What else do people want?
Well, somebody was talking about tandem going to the moon.
Yeah, it's going to 100. That's almost for sure.
Somebody else requested. Now, this one I hadn't heard of. MDGL.
By the way, Baxter International is going to 100 with tandem. They're having a race.
Oh yeah.
It's a race. I don't know which one will get there first.
This was the diabetes, right?
A Tandem is a diabetes drug, and Baxter International is a Fortune 500 billion, for something like a 46. I don't know how many billion their market cap is. That's one that I like. I've had my eye on it. I think it's a nice conservative play. You get 1% while waiting for it to go to 100.
Well, let's see. Okay.
Talking Baxter.
Okay. So some of the requests we got MDGL for a request.
MDGL has a very good liver drug, liver, and it's got a beautiful chart. Could have had it under 100 recently. It's got, a lot of potential. I'm really not, I don't really follow it much, but I almost bought it. So I got curious and I started looking a little bit into the fundamentals. But at this point, with this negative candle today, I would be looking to get in lower, midpoint of this green candle. So if I want to buy this one, and I may want to buy it, I do like it. So if I want to buy this one, I raised a lot of cash, so I'm looking to put some cash to use.
Right, exactly.
108 bucks. I would be greedy on this and go for the 108.
Gotcha. Well, where's it now?
Point.
That's 120.
And you really don't have to worry about a bottom because it put in a nasty looking bottom at 97. So if it hits, that would be my sell point. Goes through that, I'm out. I don't see it going through that unless we get a real big real big sell-off in the market. Looks solid to me, even though we had a Zoom channel going down. We're now out of it. We're out of that Zoom channel. So I'm beginning to think a lot of this one. It was in this Zoom channel for quite some time. It's negative Zoom channel.
Interesting.
Reverse Zoom channel, Dr. J terminology. You're not going to find it. You're not going to find it in the textbooks,
Right. No, I know. I was looking it up and I didn't find it.
You didn't find it. You're not going to find it. I'll save you the trouble.
Okay.
But it's a beautiful reverse Zoom channel. And we broke out today, right? Today is the first day we broke out of it, even though we had a little. I don't love the candle that it made, but we did break out of that Zoom channel. If we stay out of it, I like it. But if we go back even into it, you pick some up right here, I think it's a good play, even if you're back in the reverse Zoom channel.
Right.
The fundamentals are quite good. And where's it down from? Down from 127. Could get back up there, no question. It could get back up there. So I'm more bullish than not on this one.
Now, again, since I'm more of a fundamentals.
You know what I've been buying? Let me tell everybody what I've been buying. Not that anybody cares, but what I've been buying is Lake #1. I keep adding.
Yeah.
Amazon and Lake. I keep adding. I've added just today, to my Geron position, which is starting to get decent size.
I think you might.
Did I chart Geron yet?
No, we haven't. I think you want to chart Geron because we promised it also.
Yeah, Geron. I told everyone on the Geron board that I'd be looking at it.
Yeah, no, we definitely have to do that.
Geron, I think, is a $20 buyout. I said it. I forget when, but I know I said it. And I explained how I got there. I have to look back at the show so I don't forget. I had it all figured out then. I don't want to start figuring it out again because I don't want to tax my brain too much. So we're following the 9-day for support.
Right.
Or the 9-day is following Geron, one or the other. And today was a selling day, but it also made new high, took out this key level at 125. It only has one more level to take out before breaking out 240, and we could break out to much higher levels. So let's take a look at the weekly, just for an idea where we could go. So if it breaks out beyond 240, you're looking at the next stop being the let's say the low of this candle,
Right.
$5 range, or even the low of this candle, 462. So break at 240, I'd be looking at 462 next. I drew this line right at 460. I'll stay with it.
Right at the middle of the group.
My work from the last time. I have no idea what these crazy lines are. They're from outer space.
Time long ago.
No, they're from Amazon. Jeff Bezos beamed them in. All right, so my key plays for the moment are Lake and Amazon, and I also buying Geron. And what else did I do? What else am I buying? I bought some FedEx. I should have added to my position. I'm kicking myself.
Right. Today was a good day for that.
I said early on it's going like to 200 or whatever the heck it is. FedEx looks really strong. What else? Baxter International, I got my eye on, but I didn't buy it yet. I've been buying Jazz, Jazz.
Oh, that's right. You said you wanted to talk about that today.
I don't really want to talk about it. I just want to be buying it. I'll say one thing about it. Okay. If it breaks 115, I am probably going to commit some money on a break of 115. I'm committing small money at this point. All right.
Well, Pete was asking about RCEL.
About what?
That's what RCEL.
RCEL. RCEL is a company with the reverse split, right?
Yeah. Was this one that you? I thought this was one of the ones that you had an eye on.
I owned it, but I was raising cash. Remember, so I got rid of it. I got rid of that. Sorrento. I got rid of a lot of stuff. I did not touch any CVM. I did sell off some excess athx. I sold off MISO. I still own some shares. I got rid of all my PSTI. I mean, not that I don't like these stocks. I was in them because I like them, but I wanted to be more in cash.
Yeah, the only one that we hadn't discussed in a while was another one of Sherry's, which was the Lynn's. I mean, the Codex.
Codex, I did not sell any, by the way.
Right. I mean, so our big three between me, you, and Jake, the big three at least at the time was CVM, athx, BCRX, B4, Big Four, and this and the CODX.
I'm really high on Lake, personally. I think
so Lake's going to end up moving into the.
I think we're looking at a.
They're in the right business and they're the right PE.
I think we're looking at a $30 stock minimum by the fourth quarter. By, let's say, October.
And you don't have the same APT. It's cousin. You don't like its cousin.
I like that one too, but not as much. I like them both. I have to really give APT a better look. I know you chose that one over Lake, and that's
Only
fine.
because Lake made its move and APT hadn't, because they're not doing their earnings till.
Well, you're doing okay with APT.
I'm not complaining. It's a little, it's a little lackluster, but I'm not complaining.
Didn't this one have a big reverse split? What was it?
Yeah,
From
this was the one, I believe.
five? What was it? 5-1, 4-1? I don't remember.
I'll see if any of our audience has the answer to that.
I think it's 5-1.
Yeah, no, P was just asking, what do we do? What do we make of it after the split?
I don't like stocks in general that reverse split, but they went on to they're being housed on the Nasdaq now, so I think that they're no longer in ADR. I think. I don't know. I was in for a long time. I got tired of it. Usually they take off after I sell them, but I don't know about this one.
Do these guys do anything?
I don't have a strong opinion on this one, so can I pass on this one?
You certainly can. The only other thing people have been mentioning really is Home, HOME.
Which one?
Home, HOME.
Home. I don't even.
Yeah, no, I haven't really looked at that one.
I don't know. I don't know that one.
QCOM, Bingo, Tandem, and Endlist. These were the ones that were mentioned by people. So you could pick from any of those. Did you? We already talked about Tandem anyway.
BNGO is really more of a day trading stock. I've always viewed it that way.
Uh-huh.
Where's the volume on this one? Oh yeah, there's volume. It's had a beautiful downtrend, which it finally looks like it broke. Looks like it broke the downtrend. And it had a nice cup and well, it wasn't really a cup and handle exactly, but a rounded bottom.
Right, exactly. You said you like those.
I like rounded bottoms. It's I like rounded bottoms. I like V-shaped recoveries like this one. And then it gave it up. And now it's coming out of it. I want to see it break the resistance up here before I'm convinced. I mean, I'm looking at the weekly, but so what? The weekly you're allowed to look at the weekly.
Uh-huh.
It's not against the rules. I also looked at the week. Well, was I looking at the weekly on our cell? Probably. But the weekly is good. Nothing wrong with looking at that. So it gives a different, more long-term perspective. So from a long-term perspective, $10. From a shorter-term perspective, you want to take out this recent high at 824. So let's say 824. I'm interested. Let the stock show me something more before I go in.
Uh-huh.
Was it just a little tick up and then resume its downtrend? Or is it really going to break out? If it's really going to break out, I'll go in. This one interests me a little bit.
Okay, good. Well,
I don't know exactly what they do, but they're not a biotech company.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that one then.
Yeah.
Along with Lake.
I wanted Lake. Can we chart Lake? I wanted to chart.
Why don't we end with that one?
We'll call it quits after Lake.
Yeah, because we'll end on a high note.
Yeah, I love Lake. I bought some more at almost the low of the day. And after hours, it's continuing to come back. This one is like I said, it's a $30 stock selling at 23.
Wow.
The PE is 14.
And you called that one a 10.
It should have sales of about $4 to maybe $5 per share by the end of the year. Multiply 5 times 14. What do you get?
You get 70.
So it could go anywhere, but it's at least a $30 stock in my mind.
Uh-huh.
APT has a much bigger PE. Even 3M has a bigger PE. So this one is being undervalued by the market. And the target here is better take this high out of 25.56 before taking the $28 high out and get into the 30s. I see this trading into the 30s by the beginning of the fourth quarter. So we're gonna wind it up now.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna say ciao, good night, sayonara,
Yeah.
au revoir, arrivederci.
Yes,
You got any more?
We did disappoint a couple people. I got demoted from Ed McMahon down to Andy Richter levels, but
Somebody wanted to know what Professor Spike's expertise is in. Can I answer?
sure, feel free.
Dr. Spike is in operations research. OR. Nobody knows what that is,
No,
but that's
nobody knows
besides the
what that
point.
is. Exactly. Although,
All right, good night, everybody. Say good night, Spike.
good night, Spike.
Good night, everyone.
Take care. We'll get you
Good
on
night,
Friday.
Gracie.
Good night. Good night.
All righty, bye-bye.
All right.